What's up guys, Brennan here. I'm back with another video. Today we're going to do part 2 piano tutorial for the song Je te laisserai des mots by Patrickwatson. If you haven't seen my video covering part 1, be sure to go to that video first and then come right back here to learn the second part. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I do new videos every single week, piano tutorials, piano covers, and original songs. And I do take requests, so feel free to drop those in the comment section below. All right, let's get started. Okay guys, so before we get into the video, I'm just going to do a full playing through of what we're gonna learn in today's video, picking back up right where we left off in part 1. Here we go. So we're going to pick up right where we left off in part 1. So the next part, we're just going to get into it. It's not in the right hand, it's just the left hand. So I'm going to show you that right here. So you're going to start with your pinky here on B, middle finger here on D, and your thumb here on F sharp. And you're going to be playing these two at the same time. So it's going to be like, so try that with me here. Then you're going to move your pinky down to A, and you're going to play C sharp and E. And you're going to do these two at the same time. So practice going between these two. And then you're going to move a third time down to your pinky here on G, your middle finger here on B, and your thumb here on D. And you're going to do these also at the same time. And you're going to repeat this one. So let's just go through that all together. This once, move to A, down to G, repeat. Then you hit A, and I usually hit it with like my third or my second finger, because I need to move down here for the next one. So just to practice that, it's, and then you jump down here. So pinky on D, middle finger on F sharp, thumb on A. And you're gonna be doing these two at the same time. Then you repeat. Then you move up. You're gonna have to stretch on this one to your pinky here on F sharp, pointing finger here on C sharp, and your thumb here on F sharp, and you're going to play these two at the same time. And you're just going to do that one once. And then lastly, you shift this pattern up here. So your hand stays the same pattern. See what I mean? Like this. So this last one is pinky on G, pointer finger on D, and thumb on G. And you're going to be playing these at the same time. do this once. So it's, so I know we just covered a lot, so let's go over it again, nice and slow. So starting on B, down to A, G, repeat the G, A, D, twice, then you jump up here. So without me talking, go ahead and follow along with my hands in this next part. Here we go. So the next part that we're going to learn is very similar to what we've previously learned, but it does change slightly. So I'm going to just teach you the right hand on its own. So you're going to start with your pointer finger here on G. You're going to go like this. So that's G, A, B, A, G, E, D. Try it one more time. Then you go. This is similar to what we've already learned. B, E, C sharp, D. Now you go. So that's C sharp, D, C sharp. Then you go. So that's B, C sharp, B. Okay, so just to go over all this so far. Then you go. Next, after that, you go from B up to E, and you go like this. So that's B, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's. This next part's a little tricky. I'm going to play it through, and we're going to just try and memorize it. Here we go. And you're going between B, E, and D. So it's like this. The rhythm's a little tricky. Like I said, the best way to learn this next part is just to memorize. So let's go through with me here. One more time. Play it with me. Now I'm going to try and sing the notes as I go. B, E, 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 D, E, 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 D. Then you go. So that's B, D, E, D, and then move up to F sharp. So try that with me. Okay, one more time. Then you go. So that's E, D, E, 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 D. This is a little tricky. The best way to learn this part, like I said, is to just play it over and over, and then you'll start to memorize it. So let's go over that last little section we just learned. B, D, E, D, F sharp. Then you go. So that's E, D, E, 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 D. Okay, so now that we know that little section, the whole thing repeats. So it's this part again. So it goes the second time. Okay, so it's hard for me on this next part to just name each note. So I'm going to try my best to teach this. Just bear with me because this is a little confusing. So good job for following so far. Here we go. So it's like this. Now you go. So just try that. Okay? D, D, C sharp. Okay, so once you have that down, do it one more time. Now, you go over to E, and you're gonna move up to F sharp, so it's gonna be like this. So that's E, F sharp, E, and then you go back to D, E, D. E, F sharp, E, D, E, D. And then it starts over. Then you go D, D, C sharp, E, F sharp, E, D, E, D, 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 C sharp, E, F sharp, E, D, E, D, 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 C sharp. So just try and practice this. Let's play it nice and slow. Then you lastly go back to D. Okay? Little tricky. So this whole little phrase repeats 3 times. So I'm going to play it slow 3 times. Here we go. Starts over. Starts over. End on D. So instead of going back into the loop, you go. So now let's put the entire right hand together. Now we go. Now we go. Okay, let's go through it one more time just to make sure we really got that down. Here we go. Then you go. Okay, now good news. The left hand is very, very similar, almost exactly the same to what we learned in part 1. So I'm going to play through the part that's almost exactly the same as part 1. So it's, and then when you go to B is when you start the G, like we learned. So it's like this. Just like we learned. Okay, now this is a part when it changes. down to D, just like we learned in part 1. So that's D, A, D, F sharp, C sharp, F sharp, and G, D, G. So that's like this. Now this is when you move up to the, so it's, and then it starts over. Keep going on this because you remember you have to do this 3 times. Also, one thing to kind of know about this part is just know that the right hand here is when he's kind of singing. So your timing on this. Don't worry about making it exact. So the thing to remember is during this section, the left hand is leading the show. As long as you do this just like we learned, where you go. Exactly the same. Keeping the rhythm. Don't change it. Then the right hand will follow. As long as you're in the right timing in the left hand, just keep that in mind. So you want to be paying attention to the left hand here. So I know I'm kind of briefly going over this part, just like I said, because it's very similar to the part 1. The only difference is this right hand. So we're just going to get this timing down of putting both hands together and just follow along with this video. And if you have any questions at all, definitely don't hesitate to let me know in the comments below. I did struggle with how exactly to teach this next part, so hopefully you're following along okay. But anyways, let's get back to it. So let's go over putting both hands together from the beginning of this entire second part. Here we go. So when you're on B is when you need to start in the left hand. So it's same time. Just like we learned, this part is. All the same. Here's where it changes. Down to D. Switch. E. Hold on this one, and on D. Okay, let's go through the whole thing again, nice and slow, putting both hands together. And then at this point is you play the interlude part that we already learned the exact same. I'll just go through it once. Repeat. Repeat. Now, the very end is you go A, and then you play this last chord, which pinky on D, middle finger on F sharp, pointer finger on A, thumb on D, thumb on F sharp, pointer finger on A, and your fourth finger here on D. So just try that all together. So then you go, right after the interlude finishes, you go. Okay guys, so that is going to be all in today's video. You now have the entire song, and just so you know, this is not an easy song. So if you were able to learn this whole thing, props to you, because it definitely takes some practice. So don't feel discouraged if you're having trouble getting it. Just feel free to practice it over and over and over. Like I said, if you have any questions, you can just let me know. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I do new videos every single week, and I appreciate every single one of you who learned something from my videos. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.